Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Cynical Marketers, episode 38. We are marching along.
Almost at the end of the year, Mike. Can you believe it?
We're almost there.
I know.
Almost the end of the third quarter. We're about to hit Q4.
Fun times.
I'm sure everyone's year is going great, right? Like you're totally happy.
Yeah, thrilling.
You're into Q3. Are you on target? Are you not for the year? Where are you at? Are you doing well?
Yeah.
I'm sure
a couple of our clients are doing really well, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we got one
couple of our clients are doing well.
Yeah.
Actually, I think all of our clients are doing well, right? For that matter.
It's been a battle for everybody, and that's what's going on. And that's, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about with some of the reasons for that today. We are discussing, again, AI, but not the AI tools, but content related to AI. And what we believe, or I do anyway, I think agrees, I don't know. We don't agree on everything. But the problems that AI content is creating out there in the world of marketing. It is not a savior, believe it or not, just like I don't believe AI itself is a savior. AI content is actually, I think, creating more problems for businesses than it's solving. And we're seeing this. I think last week we talked about Andromeda, the update on Facebook, and this came about because of AI content, because there's so much being created for ads that Meta needed an AI algorithm, and that's what Andromeda is, to help them sort ads and start showing things to people because they were overwhelmed by just the mass of garbage that has been created out there. And I think that's what is driving problems for small businesses, small to mid-sized businesses, especially if you don't have like a content team, then we're talking to you that this is a problem for you. And right now you may not recognize it, but you're probably getting buried right now and you're not even aware of it. And it's harder than ever to stand out because of AI content.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about AI content, AI influencers. We've talked about that too. We've talked about how most people can't tell sometimes what's AI generated and what's not. I feel like we live in this world hands-on 24/7. So we can tell. We can tell Canva templates. We can tell AI generated content. But this stuff is everywhere. It's in Klaviyo now too, right? It's the remix feature of your content that is just useless, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think most of it, I have tried them all, because for what I do for a lot of our clients, I am pretty heavy on the content side, and I always have been in my marketing roles. I like the content side of things. So I have tried them all because you're looking for ways too. You're like, oh, will this thing do this thing that this influencer online is saying? It's like, oh, I don't know, that video looked pretty cool. Can I make that happen? And no, you can never really ever repeat anything that you're seeing online, because it goes back to my conspiracy that it's all an orchestrated influencer campaign that's not disclosed. But we see it everywhere. Canva has a tool, right? Like magic.
Oh, gosh, that is so bad.
Excel, we were joking. You and I were talking about Excel's, Google's, not Excel, sorry, but the Google Sheets, Google's AI. Like, I was in there on an Excel spreadsheet for a client, and that thing popped up like, do you want us to analyze this? And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see. And it's like, your cost per lead's going up.
Thanks,
AI.
Yeah,
that is some insight.
It's like when I do the email reporting, and it's like, you would get a higher click-through rate if your open rates are higher. Thanks.
Yeah, you need to improve your open rate. You need to improve your deliverability. Thanks, AI.
I needed AI to tell me that. Yep. It is really vile, though, on the content side.
It's
been interesting to watch.
Just getting buried in it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bad actors out there too. This is what people don't get, I think, especially like on the paid side or even the organic side, because I see this too. But you think you're competing against your competition in the marketplace, and you're not really. You're competing against everything. So there's a lot of terrible scammy businesses out there who can use AI to generate, massive numbers of ads, because they're just trying to get whatever sales they can before Facebook or Google figures out that they're a scam and maybe shuts them down, but then they'll just start up something new. But your stuff is getting buried by all of that. And if you're not hardly making anything, which most businesses we've ever talked to in the small to mid-size make the bare minimum that they think they need to make to get by, you know, and most do that. And it has been okay for you. It probably has worked. On the ad side, it used to be okay. Run an ad or two, change out the creative a little bit. You could find an ad that works and you could run it. You could run that thing till the cows came home, but you cannot do that anymore. No. So your content creation needs, and businesses who are sitting out there thinking like, oh, that's fine, then I can use AI to create the content. Like, no, I don't think so. Because that is creating just this flood of crap. And I know we've said this on podcasts before on some of our episodes where for some reason, we are cynical marketers and I'm cynical about a lot of things, but I don't know why I have such faith in the public. Where I'm always like,
I don't know why you do either, if we're being honest.
I know. People seem to, when you see comments on some ads, I'll see an ad that is clearly an AI generated ad. And then sometimes you go and look at the comments and people are like, this AI crap I'd never buy from you. And you're like, I don't know. Most of what I see is negative response to it. But, and this is again where these businesses who will pop up, who can make a quick buck and they can use a cheap AI tool to make some of this content organically. Because we see this on organic platforms too. In email, we see this. Right. You know, people can pump out. You know, they can use, you don't even need to build an email list because you can go buy one of those, an Apollo type tool, right? And just start, you can create how many flows and just add people. And there's nothing stopping anyone. You get this thing shut down, we'll just start the next. Doesn't matter, you know? Yeah. And if you're a legit business, you are getting buried by all this stuff. And your answer is not to follow them down the AI path. You actually have to create authentic content with you, your business, what you do, the things that you've never wanted to do. You don't want to pay anyone for, you know, you're hoping to still find that guy on Fiverr for $5 an hour. Yeah.
You got to start doing it. It is hard for you
right now. You really have to at this stage. And you've got to do it because there's nowhere that you're safe from it if you're not. Because the organic side is getting bombarded too. Because every social media platform, their algorithms are switching to the engagement algorithm, right? So it doesn't matter how many followers you have. You know, now you see this, I know we've talked about a few of these pages on an Instagram reel, on YouTube Shorts, on a TikTok. AI generated pages that are clearly AI and they use the AI voice, right? Like I just saw one that was about a Hollywood topic, guaranteed to get engagement, right? It was, and I don't know what we're allowed to say on a podcast. I have no idea, YouTube, but you know, it was the top
Lance
5,
is on, so he won't be offended.
Top 5 Hollywood stars who have a sex addiction.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just made up. It just picked 5 people. And it was AI generated voice and it just named 5 Hollywood celebrities. And even in the comments are like, what? You have no idea. Yeah. There's no reporting on any of this. You just completely made this up. And they did, of course. And you even commenting that helped this crap page get more engagement because that is the only thing that matters. Doesn't matter if your engagement is positive or negative, it's engagement.
Yeah.
So you're getting buried by that.
It's why we've talked about rage bait, right? It's why it works so well because you get engagement, right? And so AI does the same thing. And you have tools like they can take my likeness and can take this video of us and we can then feed it a script and it can generate AI versions of us that don't quite look the same and don't quite sound the same, right? But it can generate, like, then you can pump out all this content that kind of seemingly uses your likeness and uses like an AI avatar of you. And then you can feed it like a script and then you can generate the content. But like, it's so notable that it isn't you. And I think people are starting to see that, you know, obviously we saw that, like, I think I mentioned in our last episode, Tony Robbins, right? the coach, whatever, I don't know what his actual title is. I'm just assuming like motivational coach.
Oh, yeah. Is he a life
Had
coach?
a bunch of, yeah, like he had a bunch of like AI generated ads on LinkedIn, and the entire engagement on those ads were like, this isn't you. This doesn't even look like you. Like, we know this is AI. Like, this is so dumb. And, Will Smith got roasted about it too, like recently on YouTube, because he used AI for a background, like audience, I guess, like background or whatever,
Yeah.
where you could tell that it was AI generated, and people were like, come on, man, like you can pay extras to be in this video or whatever. I don't know if it was like a music, I don't know what it was. Honestly, I didn't look it up, but I know there was a lot of backlash on it. And I think that's what, as small businesses, like we look at the small businesses we work with and how easy it is to fall into the AI trap because it's efficient, but it's not good.
Yeah.
So,
That is so true.
it's so
I've
easy
said
to
this
be like,
before. If it's easy, then everyone can do it. And now
right.
you're not different than anyone else. You're
Mhm.
all just going to do it. You can all, where they're like, you've seen those videos where like, oh, I use, this tool to automate, and I can I'll plug it up to Canva, and then it's going to pump out this content for me, and you're like, okay, well, then everyone can do that. And what makes you different? Now you're just one of everyone. The hard thing is that genuine content. I think that's why it's going to stand out. I hope anyway.
I want to
This
have
is
that
where I
faith
could
in
be
humanity,
wrong.
Mike. I don't know.
I know I have the faith in people that they're just not going to reward businesses for this AI crap that's out there. I hope, because to
I
me,
hope so
nothing
too.
says trust me. Like, I can't even be bothered to
To put
actually
a
be the one to
30-second
talk
video.
about this product or service, right? Like, no. I'm far too busy and important to actually come out here and tell you what it is that we do in a business. Allow my AI generated avatar to talk to
Right.
you,
Who kind
lowly
of looks
people.
like me. Yeah.
You don't get me. I'm
Right.
the executive here. You don't get time with me. None of you are worth that. You are only worth, I'm going to create this AI crap for you. Please give me your money. Please trust me. Morons.
But it's interesting.
Morons who will eat this up. Right?
It's so true,
That's
though.
what I think you're saying when you pump out this AI stuff.
But I think you
How
have to
am I
look
supposed
at
to trust you?
look at the people that have been always been advocates for content, right? Which like you fall in that group as well, Mike. But like the people that are so known out there, like Gary Vee and Alex Hormozy and Neil Patel, and which Neil Patel, I think, like we've talked about, like some of his stuff is like, is that him? Like, are his eyes moving? I don't know what's going on.
I'm suspicious of some
But
of his.
but like Gary Vee still does, I mean, granted, of course he has a team, right, of people, and he always has, to pump out as much content. Alex Hormozy does the same thing, Layla and Alex, all of these, Lopez still goes live all the time. Like all of these people that have been in this space for a very long time. Now you can have your opinions about any of these people and like the things that they sell and things that they do, but they run successful businesses. And the one thing that you can tell that they're doing is they're actually putting out original content, not AI generated likenesses of themselves, right? What I find really interesting too, like we recently, one of our clients, we had lifestyle photos that we took and plugged into a tool that then generated a video, based on these lifestyle photos that actually looked pretty good. It looked like this was a person, that the photo shoot was of, I don't know why I can't speak today, these pictures, but then these pictures were all also taken. This was not an AI generated model, right? It was an actual person, and it was an actual photographs of this person that were then plugged into this, tool to test it out, and kind of generated this video that was like 5 seconds or something that was just for Shopify. But that was interesting. But then again, going back to that, still needed to be original content. That still needed to be a model that was shot in those clothes. And I think people are getting annoyed with AI models on pages. I now see this everywhere. And because I had worked for an agency over the last couple of years who was really wanting to champion this like AI models, lifestyle models, right? I can spot this stuff from a mile away. And it's just atrocious to me. Like women in photos that don't have elbows, like this is not what, like who is looking at this stuff and pretty much saying like, yeah, good enough, right? Like we don't have to really make this great, or we don't have to spend money on a brand. Let's just do this. This is good enough. But you're not
CFO.
understanding that it's actually, but it's actually like, I just kind of feel like then it's low value. Like you are not, I would rather have an imperfect picture of an actual person in your clothes if that's what you're selling online or whatever, right? Or
real,
an accountant.
Right? Be real so no one can question.
Yeah, or an accountant talking about his business, or like the one client we have who has a truck repair shop that, did videos and was so worried about, his accent and all these things. I would rather still, that's authentic. I would still rather see that than some like AI generated variation of it. And I think people who are falling into this AI trap, and like Mike, like you said, unless you're kind of scammy and are just like turn and burn or burn and whatever the phrase is, unless you're doing that, you gotta show up. You gotta do the actual content.
Trust
and
is
I
gonna
know
matter
it
more.
sucks. I know it sucks because I don't
hard.
like, we started this. I didn't want to be on camera either. I have my own personal social media where I'm mostly not on camera either. It can be uncomfortable, but I feel like there's authenticity to it. It's why you got to do it.
Man, I've talked about it so much. I know because I'm an advocate for it, but because it's, and you've started doing it, right? And you're putting yourself out there and it's nerve wracking, and there's people who are mean. Like people are mean to me all the time, right? Like I'm an idiot and I don't like it. It's not like like there's Gary Vee's like, oh, you just, bounce that off. Like, look, I'm a human. I don't like it.
Right.
But okay. Like, yeah. All right. It's not everybody, right? Like, but I think that when you put yourself out here and when you're doing this stuff and when you have your own people helping you do content and you're talking about the business, it's the hard is what makes it good and authentic and something that people can trust. Where you didn't hire actors and actresses. And I had this argument on Reddit in a videography group the other day because somebody's like, well, the big brands hire professionals to do it so that it looks right and it looks good. I'm like, yeah, I know. But then people kind of expect that maybe from Nike,
Right.
But from John the accountant,
yeah,
like I don't need an actor in your video to explain something to me. I just need to know that you can get my stuff done. You know what you're doing. I can see myself working with you,
Right.
You're a small service-based business. It's relationships and people is more what you're selling on. You're not a direct consumer product at impulse purchase level, right? If you're under $30, knock yourself out, do whatever. You're just trying to get seen by as many as you can. But for most of us, we're not an impulse purchase. Right. You need multiple contact points with somebody before they might convert for you or start working with you. And that's establishing trust and authenticity. And that's not going to happen with your AI content because you're telling them that you don't have time for that. I don't have time for you. I don't have time to really explain this to you. You're not important enough to me to invest in this, to put myself out there, or do any of this. This is the message you send with it, And it's been okay for a long time. But I tell you now, with AI and the capability of people to pump out stuff, you better start thinking about this now, because if you're not making anything and you're not putting yourself out there, I think your time is coming.
Yeah.
You're going to disappear.
And I just think, this again too, on like not chasing trends. And we've talked about that. I feel like we talk about this and mention it. It feels like at least once per episode. You don't need to chase trends. Do what's authentic to you. Right. And this, I feel like it's almost like the same sentiment that I am giving my 12-year-old, which is just be you, just be yourself out there, because avatars of you or doing some weird AI voiceover video. Look, unless you're an influencer, unless that is your full-time job, unless content creation is just, your full-time thing, you don't need to fall for these things. I mean, didn't YouTube just demonetize anything AI? So like any AI images or AI voice, you can't like even monetize on. Yeah. So that's their way of discouraging even creators, from using AI content. And then, TikTok does the same thing. I mean, ironically, one of our clips got labeled as AI because we were talking about AI on TikTok. Yeah. which was actually kind of funny. And people had called that out in comments. They were like, well, this is dumb. Like, you guys are clearly not AI. But we got labeled by the platform as this is AI content. And it's just us speaking. There's no voiceover. There's no music in the background. It's just a clip of our podcast, but that's when you start getting labeled as AI, right? Like, or using like AI voiceover or, it kind of, when it comes to businesses, just feels icky. Like, it's unauthentic. I don't know what word to use for it. It's just like you said, Mike, like, I don't want to see, if I'm just scrolling and I'm looking at whatever things for entertainment purposes, fine. But if I'm looking for, to social proof your business because somebody maybe recommended you, or or I'm looking for a service, I don't want to see AI clips. I also don't want to see, weird trend chasing things for likes. And,
one of our newest clients, we just started last week posting on his social, brand new, right? Like, very few followers, and they haven't posted in over a year. They haven't posted anything. We just started last week. And in that first week, it's him on video, and he was very uncomfortable. He thinks his accent's too heavy, and he didn't like any of the videos and stuff. That very first week, and it was every other day content, almost 20,000 views on that stuff, with 67% of those views coming from non-followers. So new people being introduced to him for the first time who were engaging with this content. And it wasn't like world-shaking content. It's just explaining his business. This is what I do here at this business. And it's not like it needed to be complex or anything, but it had, very strong results, because it was him and it's authentic, and all these people were seeing it. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome. So you don't have to light the world on fire, but you just got to do it. And you're going to have to start doing it again. Like I say, this is a warning.
Yeah.
That Andromeda, you may not run ads on Meta, but that is a canary in a coal mine, if I can use an old person's reference for you. That AI
I wonder how many people know that reference.
I know. It is a harbinger. Can we do that one too? Use a vocab word of bad things to come for you. That they had to do that should terrify businesses. And most businesses don't even have any idea that this is happening.
No, they don't know.
So you won't know, and you're going to keep not. And you said, who makes these decisions to try to use AI? It's CFOs and your accountant telling you it's good enough. Don't worry about it,
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay what it takes to actually get this content.
Yeah. And it's also, having every marketer on the planet right now train Meta, in what is acceptable content and what's not. Similarly to on Klaviyo for email, that remix feature is driving me nuts. I saw it, I looked it up, I tried it. It's now, as long as a platform can say they have an AI thing that can make your life potentially easier, it seems like everybody's falling for it. And my question is like, why? Why would you want to let AI redesign anything for you? Your design in Canva can potentially be better. We just had, this is another thing though too, we just had somebody who did did a flyer, right? Like, using AI. And it was like, oh, look at this great flyer, and the graphics were great. And then there's one word in there that was spelled in such an atrocious way that I was like, how do you?
In an AI way that it always does.
In an AI way, right?
Like, did that AI thing.
And you're looking at the flyer and you're like, the rest of this looks passable. But now I have to recreate this. And then you ask AI to do it again, and it just makes it worse. And then it just goes from there, and it's a complete mess.
And in a new, total different direction. It's not like it's working off of a working file, right?
Right.
Like, it doesn't remember this last thing it just did for you, even. So,
right. Yeah.
My feeling has been about it too. And I have tried them all. I edit in a week. For me, the amount of time I spend doing video edits, and this would make, I used to be a CMO, so the people who worked on my creative team would laugh at what I spend most of my time doing now.
Yeah.
A little bit. Of video I edit, photos, graphic design, stuff that I have to create, that's most of my time. So I have looked for ways to, how can I be more efficient and better at this stuff? So I've tried everything, and I'm not a dummy. I don't think someone's going to be like, you don't know how to prompt it. And you're like, oh, the greatest AI, the smartest thing ever invented. If you don't speak to it the right way, it's not going to give you what you want. It's not my wife, right? Like you have to be nice to it and ask it the right way, or it's going to be mad at you for the whole rest of the night. You're going to get the silent treatment from ChatGPT because you didn't talk to it the right way.
I
I
just hate when people say that. Like, I
nothing
hate when
works.
people are
Nothing
like,
works well.
I hate when people are like, well, you just have to prompt it right. Like, okay, I just need a subject line and a pre-header for an email. Like, how much prompting do we need here? It's
what do I need to write? And to get something workable where I'm like, and for most business owners, because for me then, right, like, and I wouldn't call myself a graphic designer. I'm not trained in that. I think I do okay. I have made some things that have done very well for some clients. I do okay. I would prefer it to be able to hire a graphic designer, but then you guys, you graphic designers out there, work too damn slow. I may not be as good as you, but I work way faster, and that's better. But whatever, right?
Some of the
I've
graphic
tried
designers,
all this, and it takes you time maybe to get an AI thing to almost work for you. I feel like you invest as much time into it as it would have just been just to do it,
Yeah.
Or if you're a business owner and you're trying to make that happen, isn't your time valuable too? Shouldn't just pay somebody to do that for you?
Right.
It's
interesting with the prompts though. Somebody had said like, oh, you prompt ChatGPT and then you ask it to rewrite your prompt so you can prompt it again. And I was like, that's a lot of freaking work. And honestly, it's just, I think, the bottom line is this too. Like, we get so much hate we've been told we're anti-AI. We are not anti-AI. We have some concerns on the ethical and moral things. We've talked about them in several episodes. We also think that these things can be very useful. AI can give you content ideas, right? It can create a content calendar for you. At the end of all of that, though, there's still somebody that needs to get that work done. And if you are a service-based business, especially, you need to, get over your fear of the camera. Like, I feel like if I can do it, anybody can do it, right? And show up for your business. Show up for your business the way that 10 years ago we used to go networking and shake everybody's hand and bring business cards and like keep showing up, right? You have to show up for your business. And if you think that AI can replace you, then what is the value that you bring to the table? If like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can generate like all these things with AI, like Mike said, like, what's the relationship and trust building there? There is none, right? Like, don't chase the trends. Don't pump out like volume just for the sake of putting content out there. You're not an influencer. You're a business, right? Stick to the things that work for your business and show up for your business. Show off your employees if somebody in your business may want to be on camera. Somebody may be, willing to take some pictures of your business, the outside, the inside customer interactions, different things. Like, there's plenty of content you can make that does not involve an AI avatar or a voiceover or whatever,
disingenuous stuff that you're asking people to trust you and give you money,
like, and once in a while,
you want to
fine,
fix their car.
Right.
Like,
once in a while, like that Bigfoot video.
You're an HVAC repair person, so you're going to come to somebody's house. I'm supposed to trust you, but I don't even know who you are. If you, so.
I don't know.
All right. We hear everybody.
Just be authentic. That's the same advice we're giving.
Everybody, you better start doing it.
Yep.
That's our thing here. You better start making content, real, actual stuff, or you're going to get buried. And if you just think you can do it with AI content, so does everybody else right now, and you're just like them. So,
yeah.
All right, that's where we're at. Thank you again for tuning in. If you're still here, we appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts. If there's a comment, has it worked for you? What are you doing? Yeah. Lance, if you're still here, Lance just pumps out content. Yes. And I know he's pretty busy. Yeah. I know he's doing booking clients. Job. Lance is a guy we want to have on here soon, but Lance was a career change and he started a new business, and he's getting work, but he does content regularly and he's doing exactly what you're supposed to do. So, and he does a good job with it. So, all right, tune in next week for our next topic. That'll be episode 39. We don't know what we're talking about. We just kind of,
I don't know yet. We might have a guest.
What do we want to talk about today?
See.
Yeah, maybe a guest. We'll see. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.